So I give you guys some quick tips on how to get your videos to the next level, how to really elevate and get to the next spot. It's not too hard. You will need a little bit of equipment. You know, the better your equipment, the easier the workflow is. That's just how it is. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Show you how I chopped this little thing up for KV and gave him a really high quality video. Probably took 45 minutes to shoot, probably about a 45 to an hour to edit. So here's the flow. For Kyle's treatment, we shot 3 to 4 scenes in his apartment. It was nothing too crazy. For the first scene was actually is where the video actually starts off at. Look at him, you got okay right now. So basically we shot that. He had one little key light coming from the ceiling. It was like a kitchen light. Underneath that we put like a little white board to bounce the light back up to his face so that you could really illuminate him and it wouldn't give you that shadow under the eyes, nose, and chin. So we just bounced the light right back up, gave him the ability to be able to just gave him a much more fuller look. Even his colors out all the way. You can even see like under his arm in a lot of the shots. You can still see that he has light here. It's what's bouncing back up to him. Light is everything. It's the most important part of any video. So this was actually shot with a GH5. I think I put it in spot metering, you know, to key in on him to make sure he was properly exposed, and then I just lifted the shadows just a little bit with the ISO, and then just hit the record button. Nothing too crazy. Anybody can do that. And anybody knows anything about the GH5, you know that the GH5's ISO performance is just abysmal, right? It's all about lighting. And light's your subject. So as we came back in, you can see like the effect. So you can see like the camera's pivoting and shaking. Give you an example. So you got the 502 head, real basic video head here. Pretty much in any videographer's kit, at least it should be. Maybe not necessarily a Manfrotto version, but a video head, fluid video head. And ultimately all you do is you loosen up the gears, tighten it up. You just move it around just like that. Nothing too crazy, but it does add a nice dynamic effect to your video. Also, you can see here, there's a slight punch in. And then it comes back out. Shooting in 4K, it's not necessarily something that you need, but it does give you the added benefit of being able to punch in, punch out of shots and create a nice little effect to it. I'm not gonna go too much into transitions because I mean there's like 6 million videos on YouTube for transitions. I'm here to teach you guys like solid foundations onto getting your videos to the next level. So you wanna make sure you shoot multiple scenes. You can never have too much footage, especially if you're talking about a music video. You're constantly cutting, keeping on the pace. So the best thing to do is to make sure you have several scenes. So we had, I knew I was going to have like 1 or 2 main shots, but we shot 4 to 5 just to make sure that I could easily cut back and forth between the shots. Nothing too crazy in there. And as you can see with the timeline, I mean, really all I did was just cut between the shots. Nothing too crazy there. There was a slight color shift, as you can see there, just in order to be able to match the shots. I changed them up just a little bit. Let me see if I cut off the effect. Yeah. So just to be able to match the shots, that's another thing that's very important about a video. Photos is a little different. Of course you want all your photos to match up, but it's a little harder to tell. Video is instant. Like you can tell if the shots do not match up. And if I had just been lazy and not have matched the shots up, you would easily be able to tell. Right? So yeah, you just want to make sure all your stuff is consistent. Nothing too crazy. I did have a little key light on Kyle for this particular scene. It was probably about 15 feet away, but just a little light that bled through the scene just to raise it up a little bit so you can get a little more definition in a lot of the shots. Another thing is you want to make sure that your artist is like firing on all cylinders. Make sure they're comfortable. Make sure they, they are, with a lot of energy. Because that kinetic energy, it bleeds through the screen. I mean, I can't add as many transitions and as effects as I need to add to make his performance look good if he's just sitting there monotone. I know a lot of up and coming videos I see where a lot of people that are just not starting off, including myself, it's to the point where it's just like the artist doesn't know how to be in front of the screen. If you look, like Kyle has a lot of swag in his performances. So, yeah. I mean, outside of that, if you don't have an adjustment layer in Final Cut, you can find them real easily. Just type in adjustment layer in Google and it'll pop up. Just download it, put it in your titles folder. Initially, you just go to here. You're gonna go to movies, motion projects, motion templates, excuse me. Then you go in the title and then you just drop it in there somewhere. And essentially, once you do that, you'll have an adjustment layer. And it just gives you the ability to, instead of adding all the adjustments onto the clips, you add them onto the adjustment layer, and then it'll save your tail as far as you not having to go through each clip and color match it. You can actually do it that way. Sometimes if you cut too much in certain scenes that don't need that color cast or whatever to them, or if they do have a color cast more than the other, then you have to go in and really massage the clip inside of the inspector. But generally, if you just need a quick LUT or something like that, you color match, you color correct your footage, and then you just throw the adjustment layer on, you drop the LUT inside of there, and then boom, you're good to go. That was just a quick video to show you a little edit for how I did his video. There's going to be plenty more coming. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Till then,